Let's bring in Jamie Neugebauer, the voice of the SJHL, Toronto kid, an author to boot. I might mention that. Nugsy, you're looking good. You're looking great and young. And your thoughts on these two deals today as we work our way towards Friday's trade deadline. You see them coming or not?
Sure, yeah. I mean, teams are going to be buyers at the deadline or around the deadline when they're going for it, obviously, right? Florida, Rod, you've seen it all year long. What a team. Add a little bit, just a little bit more of that pure offense. What a perfect addition, I think. And then you add a little bit of grit down the middle. Guys can win faceoffs for the Edmonton Oilers in key situations. Think about Adam Henrique. He will win a faceoff for you. What else will he do? I don't know, but in a big moment, he'll win a faceoff. I love that. Really good move so far. Really big fans of both of them.
Well, you're talking about two teams in the bottom three of the NHL unloading, the Senators and the Ducks, so they're probably happy with getting picks back. You know what's interesting me, though? These aren't bubble teams that are making these acquisitions. And to be honest, I thought that they might be. That's our poll question today. Which of these bubble teams do we think will make the playoffs? Islanders or Capitals in the East, Flames or Kraken in the West? But those aren't the teams. It's the front runners, Nugsy. And I wonder, your Leafs, they did a lot in the summer. Are they going to do more now or not? What are you thinking and what are you hearing?
Cap space, Rod. It really, Brad Treliving was given a problem. We've talked about it a lot. You've talked about it a lot. Lots of media, in Toronto, do this, bring in this D-man, make this move, get another winger, etc. Bring in a goalie maybe. And they say, we'd love to, but what's the cap space? But back in the 90s, 2000s, what would the Leafs do, right? They'd get somebody huge, but where's the cap space? I don't know.
Northside in Edmonton writes in and says it's showing that Henrique was top 5 on all of the trade boards. So that's a big signing. Is this a win? Like, the trade deadline isn't until Friday. And I think if you were to sit back and say who won at trade deadline, we won't know until they hand out the Stanley Cup. But this is a move for the Oilers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey. Like, for the Edmonton Oilers, your job right now is to add the piece that you're missing, the piece that you're looking for. Situational centerman. You can afford to be very picky. Is Adam Henrique as good as he used to be? Is he what he used to be? No, absolutely not. But he's experienced. He'll win that faceoff for you. And in those deep playoff moments, Rod, you know how important it is to snap that puck back, and in the D zone especially, he'll do that for you. So yeah, I like that for sure.
Great analysis, Nugsy. And it's interesting you say that because Henrique's been around. Tarasenko's been around. Gensel, if and when he moves, has been around. These teams are acquiring proven commodities, not young guns and hot shots. It's proven commodities, and I think that's very interesting. Paul in Humboldt writes in, and he says, I love the SJHL weekly discussions. Keep up the good work, Nugsy. Again, he is the host of SJHL Weekly on the broadcasts on SaskTel Max, which airs this fine program daily on Channel 427 across Saskatchewan. What's your report, Nugsy, as we get towards the finish line of the regular season in the SJ?
Just a small question, Rod? How about that? Yeah, look, the Flin Flon Bombers, with the roster that they have, I spoke to Mike Reagan, their head coach and GM, a guy obviously, too, and he was saying he was a little concerned. Maybe he did too much at the trade deadline. I think there's pressure when you are a winner to do a lot and to make moves and to see what other teams are doing and to match it. And he thinks maybe he's done too much, and I think that's kind of bared out in the results a little bit lately. The Flin Flon Bombers, the last little bit, Rod, 2-3-1 over the last 6. They were the number 1 ranked team in Canada for a long time. Look, they still have the best roster in the league. If they don't win at this point the championship, I think people will be very surprised and disappointed. But that all being said, the Melfort Mustangs are coming. The Humboldt Broncos are coming. The Battle for North Star is in a slide, but they have the experience of going to the Centennial Cup, of going deep in the SJHL playoffs and winning. So I think really the situation right now, Rod, if I were to sum it all up, is it's much tighter. There's much more parity than we thought earlier in the year, if you were to ask me this question, I'd say the Flin Flon Bombers give them the championship right now, because they are stacked. They are stacked out of their minds. But not right now. A little uncertainty, a little adversity. So we'll see. The playoffs are coming up. March 21st, March 22nd, they're going to kick off. And then it'll be all to play for, because there's not going to be any easy outs in the playoffs when they begin.
So what you're telling me is it's the usual suspects, by the way. You didn't mention Estevan, though, and I know that they feel that they're in it. They're going to be in it to the end.
You know what? And Rory and I and Clark on the show, who's doing a great job, your own fine producer there, Clark Monroe, stepped in to be sort of the main host on the SJHL Weekly show. He's doing a wonderful job. He and I are working together, directing the media department with the league. And we all talk about nobody wants to play the big bad Bruins, Estevan. You talk about experience, you talk about a heavy team. Jason Tatarnic, he's been there, he's done that. He's done that in this league. He's done that in the BCHL. He's done that in the Maritime leagues. You've talked to him many times, including recently. He knows how to win when the push comes to the shove. Right now, they're sitting in 8th. I don't expect that to be the case. And the Flin Flon Bombers, honestly, Rod, I think they better hope that the Estevan Bruins are not in 8th when it's all said and done, because that would be the 1v8 series to start. And there was just a series up at the Whitney Forum between Flin Flon and Estevan last weekend, Rod. It was fun to watch if you're a neutral. It was mean. It was old school. There was controversy. There were people just going nuts. There were suspensions. It was all that you want at the Whitney Forum between Flin Flon and Estevan, which is the greatest rivalry right now, Rod, in the SJHL. Bruins have a lot of good pieces if they can hold their emotions together and play that playoff style hockey that Jason Tarnick's been preaching. They're no fun. Again, usual suspects. Who's unusual is the Melville Millionaires. They're no fun for anybody to face either. They got Doug Johnson, who is a guy you'll also know too. There's going to be no easy sweeps, no easy series in this first round of the playoffs coming up, Rod.
From the audience, John in Kansas City says, as always, I love the SJHL updates. It's what makes the RP show unique. Robin in Prince Albert writes in and says, Clayton Jardine should win Coach of the Year in the SJ. What he has done with the Clippers has been great to see. But I want to look at the other end of things. Your take on the Yorkton Terriers announcement that they will survive to play next season, 2024-25, after a successful season ticket blitz. What's your view of that situation?
Rod, it's just another example, and you've been part of it, of the warmth, the loving arms that the hockey world wraps around wounded teams, wounded people. The hockey world is such a beautiful, powerful thing. Yes, the Yorkton Terriers weren't too proud to say, hey, we need some help here. They had under 200 season tickets sold this year. They were struggling. People said that they were going to be done. And they said, we need some help. And I know with your recovery program and just in your life away from the media and the camera and the lights, you walk the walk when you're not on camera too. And you say, don't be too proud to ask for help. And the hockey world has responded again. The Yorkton Terriers, 1,000 season tickets sold for next year. I'm really happy. Obviously, that's a great storied organization. They got a great barn there at the Westland Arena, which I know you've been to plenty of times. Wonderful people there in Yorkton. So again, my biggest take, Rod, is it's another example of the hockey world wrapping its arms around somebody that needs it, and just a beautiful thing.
A wonderful, wonderful community, that East Central, the Garlic Belt over there, the Yorkton area. Great people. They don't want to see their team go down. But it was also, my thing was, it's a message to the Yorkton Terriers. This team doesn't run on its own. So for a variety of reasons that we don't have time to get in here, let's not get in this situation again. Nugsy, that's it. Keep up the great work. As you know, I'm enjoying following your coverage, and thanks for this. Enjoy the hockey.
I'm cheering for you, Rod. Love you, bud. And I'm really, really proud of you. Keep it up.
Same to you, pal. Love you too, man. Keep it up. Jamie Neugebauer will have a front row seat to the playoffs, as his Hounds aren't in them. Sorry, Nugsy. I had to say it.